Working at the trunk support arm using a trim panel tool, remove the plastic rivet by levering it out from the center pin and then removing the rivet. Working along the bend of the trunk support trim, use a small flathead screwdriver and unhook the catches, red arrows. Remove the trunk support trim by sliding it up and off the trunk support. Working along the edge of the trunk, remove the 6 T25 torque fasteners, red arrows, then remove the trunk trim by pulling it straight off. Working at the carpet trim panel, remove the plastic rivets, red arrows. Using a trim panel removal tool, remove the plastic rivet by levering out the center pin and then removing the rivet. Lower the carpet trim panel enough to access the electrical connectors. Disconnect the trunk light by pulling the connector, red arrow, straight out. Then disconnect the trunk open button, yellow arrow, by pressing the release tab and pulling the connector straight out. Remove the carpet trim panel from the vehicle. Working at the outer corners of the trunk lid, remove the 2 8mm nuts, red arrow. The left side is shown, the right side is similar. Then remove the 10mm nut, red arrows, near the trunk latch. Once the nut is removed, push the stud out of the trunk and remove it. Pull the trunk panel off along the top, red arrow, then slide it down in the direction of the yellow arrow to remove it. Working at the center of the trunk, remove the 2 T30 torque fasteners, red arrows. Then pull the handle, working inside the trunk lid, out just enough to access the electrical connector. Disconnect the electrical connector, red arrow, by pulling it straight out of the latch. Pull the handle further out of the trunk lid. Pull the cable out of the handle, red arrow, then remove the cable end from the lever, yellow arrow. If just replacing the handle, reverse the removal steps to reinstall. If replacing the latch, follow the remaining steps. With the handle removed, move to the trunk latch. Then disconnect the electrical connector by pressing the release tab and pulling the connector, red arrow, straight out. Working at the latch, remove the 2 T30 torque fasteners, red arrows. When installing the latch, reverse the removal steps. Once installed, check that the latch and handle function before installing the trim panels. Use a screwdriver to close the latch, then confirm it releases when the handle is pulled. Be sure the insulator is properly seated. The tab on the insulator, red arrow, goes into a slot in the latch. Installation is the reverse of removal. Thanks for watching. Click here to view the original article along with hundreds of other DIY content for your car.